And good morning. And it still is morning, even though it's baking out here. I think it's about 90. Anyway, today's topic is not going to be my pickup truck, believe it or not. We're going to try a different tutorial. And hopefully this will be interesting. I'm going to talk about power and non-power convertible tops. So to begin, let's start with the non-power. Now you probably remember this particular, my pickup truck was a power top. It had there was a relay over here on the right hand side that I took out, and over on the left hand side had the fluid reservoir with the hydraulic fluid, and there were lines going up to where they attach. Now what you're looking at here are a set of non-power, I call them shock absorbers, because basically what they are is the power top had the lines in it, but these do not, and they bolt in the same place as the power lines did. If you'll notice, the only difference between these and the power ones is actually I can walk over here because this is where I put the power lines. The power shock absorbers had wires connected, and the fluid valve, which is right there, the fluid gets pumped through that thing into the shock absorbers, and that's what causes the top go up and down. Now, one of the big things I've been asked about these cars is, why does the power top not work? And there are a number of reasons why the power top would not function in these cars. However, the biggest thing is, and the most primary thing is, all 4 windows in the car need to be functioning. And I'll explain why. That relay that I pointed out in the right hand side of my pickup truck here that I took out, when that is engaged, all 4 windows go through that relay. Now, here are the switches. If you'll notice, this first switch has all 4 windows, and when that's engaged, all 4 windows go up and down. So basically, that's how you can tell if your 4 windows are working. But sometimes that switch has a tendency to, if one of your windows isn't working, believe me, you'll know. Now, watch this. That is your switch for opening the top on the convertible. If you own one, you know that. Now, when you depress this switch and pull down the handle, watch the windows. All 4 windows in the car have now dropped, I would say, about a good 2 inches. So what's happened is, if you do this, I've now disengaged the power top from the window frame, and I'm now opening the convertible top. And as you can see, all 4 windows are slightly lowered. So my power top works because all 4 of my windows work. However, if one of my windows was taken out of the loop, the convertible top would stop working. Now, basically what happens is, until you completely drop the top, see where the temperature is registering there at 86? That's that what tells you your top is fully engaged or disengaged. Now when you press the button down, the top will come back up. And close it. And of course, keep the window out, rain out and whatever. You want to close the windows, which I did not do. And if you'll notice, the window stays a ½ inch disengaged until you close the door. And as soon as you close the door, the window goes all the way up. They fix these cars so that they worked automatically. See? Now it's closed. Alright, so that's the Power Top. From the non-Power Top, of course, you have to use a little muscle. And use very little because these tops are almost are balanced in such a way that once you get it past a certain point, it pretty well drops on its own. That's why you kind of want I was going to leave the shock absorbers out, but what happens is without the shock absorbers, the top drops too hard. So it kind of needs the shock absorbers to keep it from actually dropping like a rock. It would be a good way to term it. So anyway, yes, so the relay in the back here that I was talking about, basically that was in that corner, controls all 4 windows. Without that, the windows will not drop correctly and the Power Top will not work. So that's also got to be functioning. Now the other thing that's interesting about this reservoir is it has I don't know what you would call it, but if you look right there, you see this lever here? If this lever is fully locked in the closed position, the top won't go up and down no matter what you do. So basically this lever that I'm turning here has to be open somewhat to allow fluid to run through these lines to the shock absorbers that allow the top to go up and down. Now if those are all working and you got the power switch hooked up correctly, the top should go up and down as long as your switch is working. So that's the other thing that has to be functioning in this car is the power switch that's in the center of the car. And I have seen those fail very rarely. The interesting thing about that power switch in the center of the car, and I'll show that to you, that is where the power switch is located in this particular car. Now some have a different center console and with a rounded front that comes out a bit more, and then that switch is on that. Now the interesting part is this window switch, believe it or not, has the same part number as the convertible switch. The only difference is you see how that has a window on it, and that one has a, well, I don't know what you'd call it. I guess it looks like a car, so with the convertible top. Believe it or not, that plastic button is only held on by 2 divots on the side, and you can actually take a small screwdriver and pop that off, and that is the same switch. So they're actually the same if you have a couple of those floating around, which most people don't. Of course, since I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I currently have 6 convertibles, including that tan piece of crap up there that I still haven't decided what to do with. But anyway, that's a tutorial on power and non-power tops. Now, I'm going to repeat this one more time because I've said it to people and they don't understand what I mean. If all 4 windows in your convertible are not functioning, the top will not work. The Power Top just simply will sit there and go na 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 na, and it will not function. So usually what goes bad in those is not the motor. People keep asking me for the motors for these things, and I keep telling them it's probably not your motor if the regulator goes bad. And the regulators in these cars are a pain in the freaking butt. I replaced a number of them. I used to rebuild them, and I got to the point where, I don't know, I tried to rebuild a passenger side one the other day, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to work, so I pretty much had it with building those. So, okay, well, that's it for today. I will do some work on this car. As you can see, I've taken it apart again because I rebuilt the thing again. I wasn't happy with the way it was set up. I have found a shop that's willing to do the metal work. They're busy right now because they're trying to catch up on stuff. So I'm like, well, there's no rush because I'm not ready yet. So basically now I'm got myself a place that's willing to do the work. So I got to get this thing assembled so when they are ready to do the work, I can take the car over and have them start assembling stuff. I mean, if nothing else, I can always take the wood over and have them start assembling stuff, and hopefully when I get the car done, I can bring that over. I'm getting there. I'm going to see what I want to do with this top. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut off the interior thing or have that sewn into the back part. Lots of decisions. Nothing is a rush right at the moment because I'm still have other things I got to do. I got to get the side rails done, and that's probably going to be my project for the day. I want to try to get the side rails in and set up so that they're ready to go when the shop is ready to have me come over. So wish me luck. I hope this tutorial on Power Convertible tops has been helpful. I like my daily driver. Just wish the tranny worked 100% of the time. The other day it decided to go wonky on me and now it's back to normal again. So don't know why. It's just one of them things. Talk to you later. Bye.